All right, my friends, welcome back. This is part 3 of my 3-part RC collection video series. I had to cover the RCs in multiple videos because over the last 8 years, we've done it 8 years on YouTube. Over the last 8 years, I've collected a lot of movie props and RCs that I've used for the show. And really, I've just had to store them all in places because I know there's a lot of viewers that watch the show and say, "Hey, Medic, do you still have that RC from back, you know, when you built the SCX10 the first time, or when you built something else?" And usually the answer is you bet. Some of my trucks have been given away over time. Some of them have worn out and broken and I just simply couldn't repair them or bring them back. But the ones that I do have, I've been sharing with you guys because there's been so many requests for me to show the RC collection. And a question came in saying, if I'm not bragging, then why am I putting the value of my RC collection in the title? And that's a very valid question. 2 reasons, actually. To answer the question of how much do you think your RC collection is worth, which was asked several times in the first 2 videos. Really just to kind of give you guys an idea of what an RC collection like this really would cost. And really the value I put on it, of course, is Canadian dollars because I'm Canadian, as well as just simply when they're brand new, all the parts that have gone in and whatever. But you guys aren't here to hear a bunch of talking. You're here to see some cool RCs. So let's get started. So there's lots of fun things over here, lots of parts on the wall, got a few different kits that are still up there. There is my retirement kit. When I'm going to retire from YouTube, I'll build this Toyota Tundra, and the viewers of the show that have been with us for such a long time will understand why I do that. I also have a Scania truck up there to be built, as well as 2 trailers. On the bench, there is the RC 4-wheel drive Beast 2 truck, the ready to run that I just recently unboxed. That's a fun triple axle. Here is my giant tool case with all my RC gears and RC tools and whatever I have in there. There's some of my, these are my 5th scale servos, some ESCs and motor combos and whatever. Lots of different, you know, like this is my spare electronics, the stuff that I pulled out over the years or that I'm waiting to use on something else. Well, there's tons of stuff in there. It's just regular hobby stuff that I've collected. Oh, look at this. A lot of you guys may recognize this. Rude Boys scale trailer. That's a handmade trailer from Crazy Joe himself. And he doesn't make them anymore. Actually, this was a limited run. Leaf sprung, I was going to say leaf springs, but still quite a bit of cool ingenuity in using the wood, putting it all together. This was before trailers were actually very, very popular. And now trailers, you can't find them. They're so popular. They're always sold out. Now, let's look over here. Here is the crane that David Jr. and his family and I discussed for so long. And David Jr., my friend, he's actually in China right now, over in Asia, exploring the world, becoming a man of his own. And here, look at this. They studied cranes for me. I had a dream that we could have a crane, and they came up with an idea that it could have an electromagnet. Look at this. So simply an electromagnet gets plugged into a separate battery. The battery charges that magnet and you can pick up quite a bit. I do have videos on this RC crane, and all these cars that are kept in here, all these rigs are really kind of special to me. So I don't have them out in the dirty shop and having dust blowing all around and, you know, kind of hurting them, because things like this are bloody genius. This is all handmade. Can you imagine? So right here, this is a kind of like a worm gear drive. Sorry, I was trying to focus on something else. The worm gear actually has a spool, and as it turns, it goes up and down. Also, we do have a grappling hook on it for it as well. This is a little cooling box for the battery. Wire runs all the way up to, hey, there you are, Tranquillin, if you're watching, buddy. There's RC Vikings right there, his sticker, up to a cab. This is actually where the receiver goes. Show you right on the back. Ta-da! Look at the electronics. This is one of my most prized possessions, simply because it is such a work of art. And those guys put in so much work for us. It was like a 6-month project. I remember sitting at their house having dinner with them discussing, hey, we should have a really cool crane on RC Adventures. And here it is. Now, over here, there's so much to look at, so I better move through even quicker. So here we go. You guys ask about my handmade Scania tow truck. This is by my friend Greg Marsh. He actually did a custom project for me. This is one of my most expensive RCs to date, including the radio. For me, Canadian, it was well into the, well, let's just say it was more than 10 grand. What? Why is it so much money? Because everything has hydraulic working booms. You guys can check out the video I have on it, unboxing it and using it in some of the videos. But I gotta tell you, all hand done. Greg is a master at electronics. It all lights up. It's absolutely beautiful. And the booms and the winches are functional. So, 8-wheel drive on that puppy. Over here, you guys all recognize HD Overkill, who started as simply a dingo that went to Project Overkill, that went to HD Overkill, and now is Optimus Overkill. This is the truck I have that is 6-wheel drive, 6-wheel steering. You can see that I actually have 1, 2, and above them 3, 4 motors, 2 transmissions, 6 steering servos, a sound kit, and a smoke kit all built in. It's an oil smoke kit, so having it on the rocks or anything like that is really a challenge. You can't do it because you don't want to spill the oil out of the reservoir. But check out the paint job on this. This is actually done by my friend Ryan from Bloodshot Airbrushing. He does full-size airbrushing and wanted to do an Overkill, an Optimus Overkill theme, bringing the old into the new, and that's exactly what we did with this rig right here. Over to the side, here's something you guys have actually only seen very few times because it's in mint condition. This is my Juggernaut. I got this. A lot of people were saying that they couldn't find Odyssey. I think it's Odyssey 76 or somebody on eBay that used to sell cars. You guys look around for RC semi trucks and you'll find his eBay store. He does a lot of rigs. But this one he had done, it is old school Juggernaut. Look at this hard body on it. Absolutely fantastic. And what I wanted to do was to get this just to do a slow motion jump and have it crush like a Lexan body. But you know, with YouTube being the way it is these days, you can't do less than a 10-minute video or else it just doesn't get promoted or seen. So videos, you know, that don't need to be 10 minutes long are kind of being stretched out. And I got to tell you, I don't know if I feel okay about that on RC videos. But at the same time, you know, there's lots of things you can do. A scale trail adventure with a truck like this, it's, you know, would be awesome. But this is old school stuff, and I kind of like that, bringing the old school back to the new school. So you may see it in the future, but right now it's in mint condition, sitting up on the vault shelf. You guys may be wondering why I didn't bring down the tow truck or Optimus Overkill there. And you guys that follow the show, maybe you're new to the show and you don't know that I've actually been doing this show with a back injury for several years. I've got very bad discs in my lower back and it causes me a lot of injury and pain. Hence why you don't see me standing at the workbench for long periods of time, because really it just cripples my back. And being a dad of a 3-year-old, I need all that power just so I can lift and play with him. Now check this out. This is my XO1, painted by my good friend Everett, who surprised me one day because we were racing our XO1s and he said, listen, I know I'm running kind of late, but I got a surprise for you and I think you're gonna like it. And he gave me this body, and man, that was an honor. Check it out, XO1 here. This is the car that actually goes to 100 miles an hour if you gear it right. Now, I don't really have a lot of straightaway paths near my ranch or anything like that, and kind of RCing on the street where I am is deemed as dangerous and illegal. So it's kind of hard to get this beauty out on the road, but it sits here with me, and every time I edit an RC adventure, I get to look at this guy and smile. Now what else do I have up here? Here you go. This is an old white semi truck I have in some of my construction videos that's pulling a trailer, much like the trailer that's down here. It was a yellow trailer I was using. I showed it in the first collection video. The reason I keep this here, this is the one that pulled the excavator and was seen millions and millions and millions and millions of times. The reason I keep it here is because of all the dust and all the dirt and everything out at the shop. You know, being a white rig, I like how clean it looks. So this is really one of my special ones. Everybody's looking over here at the capo. Look how dusty it is. Oh, and it looks like I've taken it apart. Well, on the contrary, what happened with Capo is they came to me saying that they loved the show. They wanted to have me build it on camera for them and show off this wonderful unit. And they were going to price it around $2,500 to $2,800 US. And I thought that was a pretty good deal for all the aluminum. It was a heck of a build. It did not come with an instruction book. It just came with a little tiny thumbstick with some pictures that were really in prototype stages. Really made it kind of challenging. It does have moving windshield wipers with a motor inside. I did do a lot of work with it. Everything's in there. But because I had number 2 off of the site, or off of their assembly line, pardon me, that there was a problem with it. The very first thing we noticed, apart from the aluminum being super duper soft, was that the motor and transmission gears that they had at the time were not ample. In fact, when we did the running video of this, it was a nice animated war film with like special effects and wartime stuff. Even that tank right there, hello Tiger Tank, you know, we were just kind of basically limping it to get through that. And then we found out that that Capo had actually set the price at $4,000 USD. And with the issues that I had had with it at the time, and with how soft the aluminum screws were, they stripped out really easy. I was really hesitant on promoting something like this when they had told me it was going to be one price. Then we did it. Then they released it at a higher price, and really it wasn't up to my standards. It's beautiful, and yeah, I was so honored because you guys may or may not remember. Look at this. They engraved my face on it back in the day. They were, you know, like, that's an honor. So I didn't want to badmouth Capo because they really have kind of turned around and made some really great products after this. And though there's so many people that are upset with how this looks right now, I don't want you to worry, because they knew I had issues. And so they actually sent me another Capo that was basically fully assembled. This is how this came. The recent ones have come mostly assembled, but it takes quite a bit of work to get it together still. But that's okay. If you're a hobbyist and have lots of time, that's something that's fun. And that's what I'm going to do with this one, is I'm going to reassemble it and get everything going so we can have more Capo on the show. I just haven't been able to get to it yet. There's been so much other things. Okay, next one. Who remembers Ghost Rider? Guys, this was my very first electric bike. You see, no training wheels. This was made by Venom. I believe it's the Venom 450. It came out with an e-gyro later. It was very difficult to drive, but it was so much fun, and I know a lot of folks enjoyed the video that we had it in as well. The rider did not come with the skull. I lopped his head off and then glued it. And here we can see the snowmobiles. It's almost winter, lots of snow coming. Last year we didn't have very much snow at all, but I was still able to do about 7 or 8 videos of these. Check it out. The green snowmobile got the Tekin and the RX-8 red system, and then the red one ended up getting a castle system. And the reason that is simply because I built this one first, and then Art Attack found out that I had friends that wanted to drive. This is an Art Attack snowmobile, artattac.net, I believe. You guys, Art Attack, you know, Google it, you'll find it. But they do nitro ones as well as electric ones. We had a huge crash at the end of season last year. Check this guy out. He's got a bad back like me. Anyway, so that's going to get powered up. These actually, we went ahead and put studs in the track. Look at that. Studs in the track, weighted front skis, different types of skis for different types of terrain. If you have a lot of fluffy snow, make sure you get the wide ski. This is made for more of ice. All right, you can even see the blade is a little bit sharper for ice. So over here, somebody asked me, Medic, I gotta ask you, whatever happened to your Sprint 2? Yeah, nice GTR, hey? This is from my drifting days. A lot of people wonder why I don't drift anymore. I just don't really have a place to drift. But I broke my Sprint 2 a long time ago, and I just never fixed it. It sat underneath this beautiful Harley-Davidson hard body that I ordered online. I believe it was eBay. And it fits so well that I'd like to retro fit this onto this chassis, and I think it can be done. It's just going to take a little bit of time, and I got to shave some of the front bumper, but I would like to do some drifting this winter, at least in my shop, if I'm able to, you know, as well as, you know, make it a drifting Harley-Davidson Ford. Wouldn't that be fun? On the bottom, you can see a trailer there. This is a hand-built trailer I also built or bought off of eBay. Again, 8 years is a long time to find cool products. This does have the retractable up and down legs, and it is a fifth wheel attachment. So the Bivouac trailer sent to me by RC 4-Wheel Drive. This is one of their most scale trailers. It is super expensive, guys. It's like $300 as far as I remember. But it was still really, really neat. My son loves to play with it. If anything, when I pull it behind a rig, he's always collapsing the tent, making it all put together. And Bivouac is an actual company. This is actually a licensed trailer to make it into a smaller RC version. One of the things that folks didn't like about it is that that stand doesn't have a swivel on it. But I could put one on there. I'm sure it's not such a big deal. Again, this is a product that I haven't used too much because so many people were upset about how expensive it was, and it really is expensive. For a trailer with no mechanics or anything, it was quite costly. But if you're a scale addict or a scale freak and you love scale stuff and you've got like a truck or two and you've got the money, then why not get something that you really like? Here, look at this. Yeah, another David Jr. concept. We needed a snowblower for the front of HD Overkill. We had a whole bunch of parts and motors, but look at this. There's a Castle ESC to run this brushless outrunner that went down to a universal joint that spun I believe it was off a drill, the whole differential system into this railroad style. This is how trains clear snow off a track. This spins and shoots it out the side. That is the battery I use on the side of it. It was a limited edition gold wrapped battery that Nitro RCX and Gens Ace came out with. And I used to do quite a bit of work with Nitro RCX back in the day, and so they shipped all of their, you know, core marketing team out these golden bricks, which was really cool. So I'm glad I was able to get those. Over to the tanks. Here's my two other Tiger tanks. You can see that there's two different versions. They are from Tigan Tanks, or IMEX if you look for them. IMEX. They do the same. They're the ones that produce the tanks. Really, really neat. Metal tracks. They're not waterproof. I wouldn't really put them in mud. They do have their limitations, but I do have a tank video with these two tanks in it where Everett and I went outside and used some special effects and real fire. And I'll make sure to link that in the video description box for you guys to see below. And here we go. Since I have two excavators and a loader and a few other things, I also had another Lowboy trailer. I bought this off of RC 4-Wheel Drive and had it shipped in. It does have the collapsible legs on the front, and right now I'm running one of my favorite scale trucks. I ended up buying this for Gem, and I was going to paint it pink, but the guy had done such a great job. Another person that was just expanding his hobby, wanted to sell it off, and came to me first and said, listen, we'd love to see it on the show. And so who do I have driving in there right now? The Expendables, of course. We're going to see more of this truck in the future, you can be assured. It's one of my faves. So there you go. The trailer, the tanks. Look at this. Here's one on the side. My Losi Micro, another one that we have. Morris loves to run them. I have not done the conversion on this old Tonka. This is a Tonka old Winnebago. It's an Indian. Yeah, as you can see, I say Winnebago because people understand what that is mostly. And I want to do a conversion a little bit different. Look at in there. Jesse Pinkman, the security guard. There's Gus sitting at the table. Hey, Hal. Everybody in there. I thought it would be neat. Another thing that would be neat for this would be like a National Lampoon's Uncle Eddie, you know, Christmas vacation kind of thing. Put some lights up at the top or whatever. That would be a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to end off today's video with a look back here. I'm sorry it's so red, I know. But at the same time, I can kind of shine it over here. Who remembers the Traxxas Floating Summit? Or the original honcho body of the Beast? There's a different pink design we did for Pinky. There's my AMR wrap for my Traxxas Slash. Who remembers when the Beast was a Jeep? Quite a few times. And in fact, the Beast was even a Grand Cherokee and a Ford F-650. And look at there. For viewers of the show, I still have it, guys. It's old, it's scratched, but there's Overkill's very first body. Got a bunch of bodies. Look around, you can see things that I've used over the years. Pit Dog Hydro did a dip for SpongeBob SquarePants for Morris for his first truck. And Morris is pretty excited about that. So are we. He will be getting ready to have his first RC experiences coming up. Anyway. I could go over more. There is always more, but there's just little things, you know, things that are coming around. Here's a racing quad that I have. I never even got to it, but I did purchase this online from Team Black Sheep. Quite expensive, but they've come down in price since. I had something wrong with the transmitter, so I had to have it fixed, and I did. So there you go. Lots of bodies, things everywhere. Here is HD Overkill's fresh body. Look at this. This was also done by my buddy Ryan, pardon me, at Bloodshot B&R. Ryan at Bloodshot Airbrushing had done this for me. I unveiled it quite a while ago. This was going to be the answer for Optimus Overkill if I didn't want to go that way, or if I built another one that was his nemesis. So I thought you would think that's pretty cool. A lot of people say to me, you know, when are you going to stop making RC adventures? You've been doing it for 8 years. And my answer is always going to be, you know, I'm always evolving and changing, and the show is always changing, and I'm getting older, and the viewers are new, and some have been with us for so long. And I can say, as long as it's fun and there's creative ability in me to entertain you guys with RC, I'll do my very best to keep you guys entertained. I can't do it forever, and things are going to have to change. In fact, an announcement is coming up in a few days that will announce the big change. So, no better way to say it than just that. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. You've been with me for a long time. I hope you've enjoyed a look at my RC collection, and you are inspired to get out and try the hobby of radio control. Until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode of RC Adventures. Bye. What's the matter, big guy? Did I miss you? Don't worry, we'll get you in the next one.